This is Mornings, LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA from the shores of Santa Monica, California, as Americans awake to what? Job firings. What's going on? In today's recording, we'll go over the breaking news as more companies laid off more people late last night. It's not particularly good, and that's why you need massive stimulus checks. In today's recording, we go over the massive layoffs that were announced by McDonald's overnight, and also what's coming on with Amazon job cuts, Salesforce job cuts. That's why you need all these incredible stimulus checks. And in today's recording, we're going to go over these 2023 stimulus checks for you. A to C, E to K, L to Q. These are beautiful stimulus checks, 18 months. And these are stimulus checks for you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits. These are stimulus checks for you if you made $75,000 or less. And yes, these are stimulus checks for you if you were fired by Amazon overnight as a W-2 employee. We're going to go over these big stimulus in today's recording. Then we turn over to the big new business stimulus, Stimulus Check R, PEBT stimulus, and then we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time and how to get these beautiful checks. They are all in the membership newsletter. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, a big day with a lot of major breaking news. What do? You go under this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, and Calcino VIP, and then go right into that membership newsletter. I'm going to go over all these details in this broadcast and show you how to survive a 2-year recession. Major announcements announced overnight. 3 companies, 3 layoffs, lots of them, and another one potentially on the horizon. That's why you need to get all this incredible stimulus. We're going to go over stimulus checks for you, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans. Stimulus checks for you, unemployed people fired by Amazon overnight. And stimulus checks for you, PBT. And stimulus checks for you, small business owners. A lot of money in this broadcast. A lot of breaking news, even on a weekend. An old story, an old saying in the news industry is, if you want to bury a story, you announce it on Friday. Well, if you want to bury it, I'm going to find it on a Saturday. From the short Saturday, Mountain, California, I found a lot of breaking news that happened overnight. We're going to go over all those incredible details one at a time in today's broadcast. It's a big show, it's a big broadcast, and it's a lot of money. It's Morning to LA, and it starts right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. Company workers are waking up this morning learning that they have been fired. It's the situation for 2023, and that's why you need big stimulus checks. In this recording, we're going to go over stimulus checks for you, SSI, stimulus checks for you, SSDI, stimulus checks for you, veterans, stimulus checks for you if you're low income, make less than $75,000. There's stimulus checks A to C in this recording. Stay with me as I go over each of these incredible checks in this recording. I'll show you how to get them. Then we'll go to stimulus checks E to K, L to Q, and then we'll go over to unemployment stimulus because Amazon workers woke up this morning finding they were fired. I'm going to go over how, as an Amazon fired worker, you can get unemployment stimulus in this recording as well. PEBT stimulus checks heat up this broadcast. Then we'll go over breaking news as Macy's department store gave us guidance this morning. It's brand new. Amazon, Salesforce, McDonald's, and also House to repeal spending. But understand as we start this recording, the repealing of spending is not stimulus. How do you get this? You go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Go right under this video, hit that newsletter, and start applying for those incredible checks. Don't worry, I'm going to show you this all one at a time in this broadcast. We first start these 2023 stimulus checks with stimulus checks A to C, and then we'll go to E to K and L to Q. Why is 2023 such a great year? Because it's a combination of 3 years of stimulus checks from 2020, 2021, and 2022. And I'm so happy because we got stimulus checks for all different walks of life on this channel today, from everyone from SSI and SSDI and veterans, to low income, to small business owners, to employees fired. We have a lot of beautiful stimulus in this broadcast. I'm going to go over all these incredible checks, starting with the first 3, A to C. How did A to C become a law? A to C became law because Joe Biden came along and passed a series of executive actions which established the first three checks, and those are A to C. We're going to go over each of those wonderful checks one at a time. There's over $100,000 in those first three checks for 2023. And again, these are checks for you. These are checks for Americans, all Americans who live in U.S. territories and also U.S. states, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans, anyone who makes $75,000 or less, and anyone who's a married couple who makes $150,000 less. The first three checks are A, B, and C. We're going to go over each of those checks one at a time in a second. Then we'll go over the checks from Congress, E to K, that brought us to hundreds of checks. And one of the fundamental things you need to understand today, and I know you're going to ask it, is are the Republicans going to repeal the stimulus? They cannot. They don't have enough votes. These incredible stimulus checks, E to K, from the Congress last year. Then we'll go to L and M, N and O, P and Q. But without a delay, let's go right into those beautiful first three checks, A, B, and C, starting right now. Remember, once you become a member, if you haven't yet, do it right now while watching this video. Then you go right into that newsletter. It's at news.lalate.com/newsletter. I'm going to explain this all to you over this broadcast. Watch me, stay with me over this broadcast. I'll go over every element you need to know one at a time, very slowly. Let's go over stimulus checks A, B, and C first to start. Stimulus check A is a beautiful $6,500 to $12,000 stimulus check. It's huge. And again, these are for you, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans. These are anyone who is making $75,000 or less, or a married couple, $150,000 or less. How do I get stimulus check A, $6,500 to $12,000? You become a member, then you go into that beautiful membership newsletter, go down to stimulus check A, click the link, and go grab it. We're not done there yet. You can go to stimulus check B, which is $15,000 to $80,000. The reason why stimulus check B, which is right in the newsletter right after stimulus check A, is so popular is because it pays a lot of months of stimulus checks. A 2-year recession was predicted by me in spring of last year. It looks like my prediction is going to be right. If it's a 2-year recession, 24 months, you need lots of stimulus checks. And stimulus check B pays 18 months of stimulus checks. That is why stimulus check B is so good, especially in view of a potential recession, a 24-month recession. So go down and stimulus check B in the membership newsletter, but you're not done there yet. You're going to go get stimulus check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. In the case of stimulus check B, viewers are getting on average 18 months of stimulus checks. Wow. 5 checks per month. Wow. $3,000 a month. Wow. But you're not done there yet. You're going to go to stimulus check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And these have been on this channel for over a year. They're still law. They're still paying out. There's over $500 million of stimulus from 2020 to 2022 still law. Do you want $30,000 of rent? Of course you do. Go right in this video. Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Go down to stimulus check C in the newsletter. It has 12 places for you to reach out to, what to say and how to say it. Make sure you reach out to all 12 places because you're going to get a no, but you're also going to get a yes. You want $30,000 of rent? Go get some stimulus check C. Utilities. You want $15,000 of utilities? Of course you do. This is your water bill, your electric bill, your heating oil bill, your gas bill. Go get it because viewers are getting upwards of $15,000 now. Combinations of checks. Well, Nisi's at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. He went to $166,000. Lorraine was at $105,000. She went to $155,000. So get these beautiful stimulus checks A, B, and C, and those again are for you. These beautiful stimulus checks start this broadcast today, and those are stimulus checks for you, SSI. Stimulus checks for you, SSDI. Stimulus checks for you, SSA. Stimulus checks for you, veterans. Stimulus checks for you, low income. These are stimulus checks for anyone who made less than $75,000 last year. $150,000 married couple. These are stimulus checks A to C, and these just start this recording. Again, how do we get them? How do you get them? You go down the membership newsletter, which is at news.lalate.com/newsletter, and grab them. We're not done there yet because I'm going to go through that newsletter with you in just a second. Stay with me as we go over all these incredible checks. So far, B is the great check of those first group A, B, C, because viewers on average are getting this. 18 months, $3,000 a month, 5 checks per month. You need it with a 24-month recession potentially. 24 months, You need 18 months of monthly stimulus checks. Law passed. Viewers have been paid. And these are incredible. Go right in this video, become a member. Now, after A, B, and C came stimulus checks E to K. So E to K, as you remember from that earlier graphic, are these stimulus checks for you, SSI, SSDI, veterans, anyone who makes $75,000 or less. But these checks, E through K, are from Congress. And these were passed in 2022. And again, let me make a point very clear to you across the board. Kevin McCarthy was elected as brand new Speaker of the House last night, and he talked about repealing some stuff, but he cannot repeal stimulus. He does not have enough votes to repeal your stimulus. So this is law, and a lot of this law was passed by Republicans, so they want it as well. Let's go to stimulus checks E to K. Stimulus check E, $7,500. Wow, I love this stimulus check. Again, these are E to K in the membership newsletter. For you, SSI, go get it. For you, SSDI, SSA, veterans, low income. This is for Americans in U.S. states and U.S. territories, all of them. Stimulus check F, a $4,000 stimulus check, just great. Stimulus check G, 30% off. Wow. Stimulus check H, $2,000 stimulus check. Love it. Stimulus check I, $8,000. Stimulus check J, $8,000. Wow. And then stimulus check K, $14,000. So these are your beautiful stimulus checks E through K. So far in this recording, we have done the stimulus checks from A, B, and C from Joe Biden. Then we just went over E through K from Congress. Coming up in a second is L to Q. Again, these are all stimulus checks for you, SSI, stimulus checks for you, SSDI, stimulus checks for you, SSA, stimulus checks for you, veterans, stimulus checks for you, individuals who make $75,000 or less, 2022, married couple who made $150,000 less. And these are for Americans in U.S. states and U.S. territories. We had a nice laugh yesterday as a viewer in the live chat or in the comments said, but I live in North Carolina. My reaction is, oh, did North Carolina secede? Is North Carolina in its own country now? Last time I checked, it was part of America. So yes, these are for Americans in U.S. states. So these are the beautiful checks A to K. Now let's get some more stimulus checks L to Q. These are the same eligibility as the ones we just went over. These are checks for you, SSI, SSDI, veterans, low income, $75,000 or less. These are beautiful checks, and these aren't the ones from Congress. These are the checks that yours truly found for you. And let's go into those beautiful stimulus checks right now. Fast-paying stimulus, incredible across the board. Let's look at those beautiful stimulus checks L to Q starting right now. Same eligibility again. And stimulus check L to Q. L is $100,000 on average of loan industry money. M is a beautiful grant, $4,000. Stimulus check N is my favorite stimulus. It is just incredible. It is a brand new tablet, computer, laptop, free internet. How can you beat that? It's just wonderful. Become a member. Have you become a member yet? Make sure you do. Go right on the membership newsletter. It's under this video, and I'm going to show you how this newsletter works in just a second in this video. Then we go to stimulus check O, zero down payment, zero closing costs, brand new mortgage. Wow. And then stimulus check P and Q. P is 3% refi and Q is an $8,000 stimulus check. So those are your beautiful stimulus checks A, B, C, E to K, and L to Q. Largest stimulus check, $100,000. Smallest stimulus check, $8,000. Fastest routing time, 2 days. Johnny started on Monday. By Wednesday, he had 45,000. By Friday, he reached out to 15 places, half approved, half rejected, 80,000. The next week, she helped his mom and dad each get 50,000. Then he helped his 20 friends and neighbors get $250,000. We have a lot of money and a lot of great items in these A to Q stimuluses: the rent, the utilities, the mortgage, the appliances, the home repairs, the computer, the car, the internet. Wow, it's just wonderful. And those are the beautiful stimulus checks A to Q. These again are stimulus checks for you, SSI, SSDI, SSA, veterans, anyone makes $75,000 or less, married couple $150,000 or less. But we got more stimulus beyond that. And over this broadcast, we're going to go over more of that beautiful stimulus. Coming up in just a second, we're going to go over unemployment stimulus. We're going to go over stimulus check R, which is for my businesses. We'll go over stimulus check PBT, which is for the young children. And so far, we've done A to Q, but now I think it's time to go over that beautiful newsletter. So how do you get this money so far? You go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk. Purple Power Casino VIP. Become a member Channel 1, LA 1, or Channel 2, LA 2, or Channel 3, LA 3. Then the great new second location for the newsletter. No longer do you have to wait to get the newsletter a certain time or know your time zone, because a second location was launched for me as your Christmas gift in 2022 on December 23rd. Its website is on the screen right there. It's a website, so a website never closes. How brilliant is that? And you don't even have to remember the address of the website. Why? Because the website address is in the top of the chat. It's in the pinned comment. The pinned comment of the video. It's in the description of the video. It's at news.lalate.com/newsletter. Grab the password from the most recent post on this channel and put it into that website, and you are into the password-protected members-only newsletter. And you can do this in the comfort of your home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, any time of the day, any time of the hour. Grab that most recent password. It'll say current password in the most recent post on any of the 3 channels. Now, let's continue with our stimulus discussion right now. We're going to go over to unemployment stimulus. Unemployment stimulus is exactly where we thought it was going to go. Why? Because coming up in this recording, we're going to learn about McDonald's firings overnight. We're going to learn about Salesforce firings overnight. We're going to learn about Amazon firings overnight. And if you're nearly one of those 26,000 people that was fired overnight, and you're watching this channel, you're watching this video, you know someone who works at Salesforce or Amazon or works at McDonald's, then you will want to watch this unemployment stimulus right now, because you're going to have to understand how this works and give them some understanding for it as well. Let's go to unemployment stimulus right now. Unemployment stimulus is for people who are W-2 employees that are fired, like an Amazon worker. What do you do? Step 1, you go to your state's Department of Unemployment website. I prefer the websites. Always use the websites because they're very well designed. Step 1 is going to ask you to file the claim. Establish the claim. And you're going to be asked 3 questions. Here, how you answer those first 3 questions. First, it's going to ask you the date you were fired as a W-2 employee. In this example, we are using the date of October 1st, so we can discuss this, you and I. So let's assume the boss walked up to you on October 1st and said, ma'am, you're fired as a W-2 employee. So when it asks you on step 1, what date were you fired? In this example, it's October 1st. Then it's going to ask you, are you willing to work? Answer yes. Able to work? Answer yes. This is a question about mental and physical attributes. You must answer yes, and then the step 1 is done. Your claim is approved. But hey, unemployment is not particularly that clear how it works. So finishing step 1 and being approved does not get you a check, because you have to do step 2. What happens on step 2? On step 2, you have to ask for a check for each week you are unemployed as a fired W-2 employee. In this example, you were fired October 1st. Let's presume in this example you're watching today's recording in February of 2023, and you got a job somewhere else in January 1st, 2023. Can you get unemployment stimulus checks for the weeks you were the fired employee at that first job in the month of October, November, and December only? Absolutely. Can you do that even though you later got a job somewhere else? Yes, for the months of October or November, December, absolutely. So let's go over the step 2. Step 2 asks you for whether you want a stimulus check for the first week of October when you were unemployed as a fired W-2 employee. Answer yes. And it'll go through that first week. It'll go through all those weeks of October. Then it'll do November. Then it'll do December. At that point, you stop because you did get a job in January. You stop at the week in which you got a job in January, and you're done. Wow. Very important. That is how unemployment works, and get it right now. Now let's go over to PEBT. PEBT brings us back to the earliest days of this channel, 2020. And during 2020, something happened, and your child that gets cheaper or discounted meals in schools didn't get enough. So they're sending out those beautiful checks. It's called PEBT. It's happening right now in 2023 for what you endured in 2020. So this is the narrative for 2023. It's a lot of stimulus for prior events of prior years. We're not done there yet. We're now turn to stimulus check R. Now, stimulus check R is different because this stimulus check It's for my small business owners. Stimulus Check R brings us back to the very first day of this channel when I was doing unemployment and I was doing EIDL grants for my business owners. And they always said you have some more business money. Do you have business grants or business loans? Well, Stimulus Check R is not a loan, it's a grant. It is free money. Let's go over the beautifulness of Stimulus Check R. Stimulus Check R is in the membership newsletter at Stimulus Check R. It is the employee retention tax credit. It works based upon the concept of you had an employee in 2019, the pandemic hit in 2020, and despite a pandemic in 2020, you kept the employee on staff. Despite a pandemic in 2021, you kept the employee on staff for at least the first 3 quarters. How much are you going to get paid? You're going to get paid $26,000 per employee that you kept on staff in 2020 and the first 3 quarters of 2021. Wow, that is an enormous amount of money. And if it's 10 employees, it's $260,000. If it's 20 employees, it's $500,000. Insane? Absolutely insane. Here's the calculations. For every employee you kept on staff in 2020, they're going to pay you $5,000 an employee. For every employee you still kept on staff in 2021, these employees you had in 2019 again, they're going to pay you $21,000 per employee, $7,000 per quarter. Again, $5,000 for the whole year 2020 and $7,000 for each of the first 3 quarters of 2021. The grand total is $26,000 per employee. 10 employees, that's $250,000 at least. 20 employees, it's $500,000. Wow. And that is a beautiful Stimulus Check R in today's recording. So you see how 2023 is turning out to be a wonderful, wonderful year. We have the combinations of so many different stimulus checks all at the same time. I'm really excited. I mean, it's just really overwhelmingly wonderful. 2023 has your stimulus checks for you, SSI, stimulus checks for you, SSDI, stimulus checks for you, SSA, stimulus checks for you, veterans, stimulus checks for you, families with young children, stimulus checks for you, small business owners. We literally have a stimulus check for virtually all my different viewers all at the same time. I don't think I've ever said that since 2020. Moreover, 2023 is the combination of stimulus checks for 3 years, 2021, 2022, and 2023. It's absolutely huge. And I'm so proud of what you've been doing on this channel. Let me applaud you right now because you're here to learn to earn, and this is fundamentally important. When we look at that prior Stimulus Check R, you would presume I know all the stimulus checks. Apparently I don't, because I never heard of Stimulus Check R until last week when I heard it in a commercial. It was passed in 2021, but only really took shape when we got guidance from Treasury in 2022, and it's an enormous amount of money. So now we have stimulus checks for everyone on this channel practically. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rural benefits, veterans benefits, all U.S. states. We have stimulus checks for low-income households with children. We have stimulus checks for individuals who have businesses with fired employees. We have stimulus checks for employees fired. It's just absolutely incredible. And you're doing such a great job. I am so proud of you. What's important for you to know is that this channel is always about learning to earn. And if you saw the dramatics of the House floor and the House floor vote overnight, you saw a lot of, arguing, a lot of voting, a lot of present, abstained, or voting for this, and some pizza boxes being delivered. But here's what you may have also not heard. Stimulus. You may not have heard anyone say the word stimulus. You're smarter than that. Stimulus has been passed in 2020, passed in 2021, passed in 2022. And the fact that you don't hear it or see it in the local news or on the celebrity news channel or on the sports channel doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The fact that you don't see Kevin McCarthy saying it to you doesn't mean it exists. It does exist. It has existed over 3 years, and there's over $500 million of it still existing. And despite whatever happened yesterday with Kevin McCarthy talking about revoking some spending on other things, he's not revoking the stimulus because a lot of the stimulus was stimulus passed by Republicans for Republicans and passed for Republicans for Americans. This is incredible stimulus, and it's still there, over $500 million. So it's so fundamental to know what things are and understand what things are and not just perceive things by the cover of the book. That's why we're here. Massive stimulus for 2023 is the combination of 3 years of stimulus checks, 2020, 2021, and 2022. It's stimulus checks for you, SSI, SSDI, veterans, Social Security, railroad benefits. Viewers have been getting them. And what I want you to do is try to get as much stimulus as possible. So let's go into that beautiful membership newsletter right now. Once you become a member, if you haven't, do it right now. Go right on this video, join the channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Then go into the newsletter. The newsletter has a second additional home launched by me as a gift for you on December 23rd, 2022. It's a website. And the website, you don't even have to remember the name of the website. Look how I do all the work for you. This is so easy. It's at the top of the chat, the website, the pinned comment, and under the description of the video. It's at news.lalate.com/newsletter. You don't even have to write down that address because I put it in there in all the videos for you. You just click it and go right in after you become a member. Then go into the most recent post on the channel in which you became a member and look at that recent member post, and it'll have the current password. Grab the current password from the most recent member post and put it right into the password protected members only website, news.lalate.com/newsletter. And apply for these incredible stimulus checks in the comfort and privacy of your own home or whatever time you want. Do a little bit now, take a lunch break, come back and do a little bit more later. Do some today, do some tomorrow. It's wonderful. That's why viewers absolutely adore this. You become a member right now. You start applying for stimulus checks right now, and you start getting them. It's just really incredible. In the breaking news of the second half, we're going to go over all the details that happened late last night and this morning. Macy's gave us full year guidance. Salesforce gave us job firings. Amazon gave us job firings. McDonald's warned of job firings, but it's going to happen. And the House is going to repeal spending, but not stimulus. We'll go over all those breaking details as well. Plus, we'll understand why the market went up 700 points. Was it justified or was it unjustified? It's the market news live from the shores of Santa Monica, California on this big morning of Morning's News. I always tell you to watch the weekend shows because you never know when something's breaking, and there was a lot of breaking news this morning. Lots of firings and a lot of market confusion. We'll have everything you need to know about this economy as the toast is toasting. The butter is buttering. The coffee is brewing. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Morning's LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the news continues from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Welcome to all the people in the live chat, like Shirley and Jane, just having a beautiful day across the board from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Big day with a lot of breaking news. And unfortunately, also a lot of firings. We'll go over the breaking news right now. Started with Macy's, continue with Salesforce, Amazon, McDonald's. Did you become a member during that commercial break? Hope you did. Go right to that membership newsletter right now and start applying for some of these incredible checks. You deserve these incredible checks. A, B, and C. E to K, L to Q, stimulus check R for small business owners, stimulus checks for unemployment, stimulus checks for PBT, 18 months, $3,000 a month on average, 5 checks per month. You deserve these. Again, these are stimulus checks for you. A, B, C, E to K, L to Q, then get that stimulus check R. Let's go into the breaking news we're dealing with right now, and it came in dramatically after the market closed. This is really why you have to watch weekend shows on this channel, because there is so much breaking news across the board that you just never know what's happening. There's an old adage in the news industry: if you want to bury a story, you release it on Friday evening. So guess what? They buried some stories. They buried some stories. I found them. I had my shovel ready. McDonald's job cuts, Amazon job cuts, Salesforce job cuts, and Macy's fall on guidance. Macy's on Friday warned after the market closed that holiday quarterly sales will come in on the lighter side. Wow, there we go. Shares of Macy's was down 4% on the news. What are they saying? So they basically said, yes, Black Friday was not good, but December really was even more traumatic. CEO Jeff Jeanette said Macy's put good Black Friday numbers and Cyber Monday numbers, but the problem was the other weeks of December. The lows of the non-peak holiday weeks were deeper than anticipated. The company was propelled positively on good numbers from its brands Bloomingdale's and beauty chain Blue Mercury, but the problem was those weeks of December, after the lull of the holiday shopping season, the market traded down the stock 4% after market. Here is the problem. They are now expecting that 2023 will not be much better either. They're deeply worried about the macroeconomics, what's going on with this economy, and they are concerned that the situation will not propel the consumer into the stores. Based upon current macroeconomic indicators and proprietary credit card data, we believe the consumer will continue to be pressured into 2023. There you go. Particularly the first half, and then may pivot accordingly. That was one of the major stories we started today with. Then we go over those corporate firings. This is why we have unemployment stimulus on this channel. Lots of corporate firings, and they're coming in one at a time. Let's look and see where we have those right now. So we have an announcement from Salesforce, which announced big job cuts. Salesforce announced that it's cutting 10% of its workforce, which will be about 7,000 W-2 employees, which will potentially be here on this channel looking for unemployment stimulus. That's what co-CEO Mark Benoff told employees late yesterday. Revenue is slowing at the company, so they will lower headcount to 18,000. The cut is dramatic. It's 7,000 employees, and this is from Salesforce. It's not alone, because minutes thereafter, we had an announcement from Amazon, which Amazon had already cut staffing before. Amazon did it again. Amazon, after Salesforce fired 10% of its workforce yesterday, hours later, Amazon fired 18,000 people. 18,000 are now gone from Amazon overnight, and they potentially will be on this channel looking for unemployment stimulus. So let's look at the combination of that. Amazon, Salesforce, 25,000 people fired overnight. 25,000 people unemployed, W-2, now qualified for W-2 unemployment stimulus checks weekly on this channel. We're not done there yet, because guess what happened? 25,000? Well, no, it's going to be more. McDonald's, job cuts. McDonald's indicating it's going to be firing people. McDonald's said they will, but didn't give us guidance, so they did not announce them officially. It says planning to cut more jobs, and this is as the company's trying to restructure and open more stores. Yeah, they want more stores with less employees. Sound familiar? It's corporate America. We're divided into silos with center segments and markets, and we need to a little bit trim. We must accelerate the pace of our restaurant openings to fully capture the increased demand over the next few years, said Kreminski in a company-wide memo obtained by LA News overnight. The issue at hand is that even as companies expand, or even as companies are doing well, they're still firing people. So this is fascinating. Let's compare this. McDonald's is having a great 2022 and 2023 so far. Macy's had struggles in late December, Amazon's under pressure and Salesforce is under pressure. It doesn't matter if a company's doing well. It doesn't matter if a company's doing under pressure. They're still firing people. They're firing people left and right. That's why you need to get unemployment stimulus. You got to get that unemployment stimulus. You need to become a member. You need to go in this video, subscribe, and become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Powercasting, VIP, and get as much stimulus as you can. Again, the first 3 checks, A, B, and C, are for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rural benefits. E to K, L to Q, then get stimulus check R if you're a small business owner, then get that unemployment stimulus, then get that PBT stimulus checks as well. A lot of money and a lot of things at issue. Finally, the markets. Let's look at that red band. The markets ended up 700 points on Friday. Why? Justified or unjustified? The NASDAQ ended up 260 points. Justified or unjustified? Let me tell you the recap of what happened late yesterday. The markets on Friday had a lot of data released, and it was the most fundamental data that we had waited for all month long. It's the non-farm payroll number. And this has a lot of components in there. It's how many jobs are created. I'm not really interested in that one. It shows us the wage inflation, and finally shows us the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is the critical one. Why? Because the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate. The Federal Reserve has a dual mandate. Maximum employment, the most people employed, lowest unemployment possible, and then price stability, keeping inflation as low as possible. If inflation's up, then they'll make more people unemployed. That's what they said. If people are unemployed is growing, that too many people are unemployed, they may stop with dealing with inflation. So that's why this monthly number, the non-farm payroll number, is so critical to see if that unemployment rate is going up or if it's going down. Well, it went down, lower than expected from Wall Street, which would basically say just one thing. Federal Reserve is going to come in with more interest rate spikes for 2023 to get inflation down because labor is holding up. Wall Street knew that. It saw that. It understood that. And it completely ignored that to sell the Brooklyn Bridge once again on Friday. Instead, taking one item out of that report, which was the wage inflation, how much a salary is going up per month, and say, oh, the wage inflation is easing. It's settling down. It's not as strong. It's not as hot. That means that the Federal Reserve will stop raising rates. Yeah, they're selling you the Brooklyn Bridge again. Unjustified that the market is up 700 points because they thought the Federal Reserve was going to stop raising rates because wage inflation came down. No, the unemployment rate came down, and that means the Federal Reserve will continue to raise rates. Federal Reserve has already said this. And that's why you have to understand why a number goes somewhere, whether it's justified or unjustified, so you're prepared accordingly. 2-year recession, we'll learn in about 2 weeks. And the likelihood of the market trying to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge again next week, very likely, because it's a regular occurrence for them across the board. Join me next as this video will automatically take you to home LA at 11 a.m. if you're watching this live on air when it airs at 9 a.m., which actually I guess is now 9:24, which is now 10:24. Coming up next in about 30 minutes is 11 o'clock's home LA. Starts our afternoon programming schedule, which continues at 1 o'clock with Afternoons LA, 2 o'clock with Afternoons LA, brand new Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock today, brand new, don't miss it, and then go into Evenings LA at 5 o'clock. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.